We believe very strongly that the district court decision enjoining the president from wiretapping Americans without a warrant has to be affirmed. Americans have no assurance today, and they will have no assurance tomorrow without an injunction, that their phone calls and emails are safe from the prying eyes of the NSA unless this court affirms the injunction. There are people here with me today, our clients in the case, who continue to be unable to do their jobs as lawyers, as journalists, as scholars who are trying to promote democracy in the Middle East. And they can't do their jobs because they cannot assure their clients and their sources of the confidentiality of their communications. That's why it's so important that there be a decision in this case. Congress did its job to stop illegal surveillance. This country faced a crisis over 25 years ago when it came out that the NSA and the FBI and the CIA had been routinely monitoring the conversations of ordinary Americans, including civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King, members of Congress, and prominent journalists. In response to those very serious abuses, which Congress at the time said threatened the very foundation of our democracy, Congress passed a statute, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which makes it a crime for the executive branch to wiretap Americans without a warrant. That's a statute that President Bush authorized the NSA to violate for over 5 years. We think this has to stop. We think it's time, just as Congress did its duty to serve as a check on executive power by passing FISA, we hope that this court will exercise its duty to enforce that law and to tell the president that he is not above the law. It's not enough that the Attorney General has said that he has now, at least temporarily, brought the program under the supervision of the FISA court, because in the same breath, and repeatedly, and again here today, he has claimed that he still has the inherent authority under the Constitution to violate the law again tomorrow. With that threat of future illegal surveillance, it's absolutely necessary that the court rule. We simply, it's not even a matter of hoping that he won't go outside again. It's that he has himself claimed the right to violate the law again whenever he sees fit. And we think that our constitutional system was set up precisely not to provide that kind of power to the executive, that kind of uncheckable power. He should not be the one that gets to decide when he follows the law. That should be the job of the courts and Congress.
Prior to FISA, NSA eavesdropped tremendously on American citizens, which was illegally without any warrant, which was exactly why they created the FISA law. And for that entire period from the time FISA was created until roughly around 2001, my own feeling was that the government was doing the right thing. They were obeying the law and the NSA was being checked. But once the president decided to go around the FISA law and bypass any warrant procedure, then again, the NSA has no check and balance.
To me, the most serious issue here is that to have a criminal justice system that is fair in a democracy, clients have to be able, people who are accused of crimes have to be able to have confidential communications with their lawyers. It is simply unfair that the government gets to accuse people of a crime and then listen in on the conversations they're having with their lawyers at their whim. We can't have a criminal justice system in that, when we have that situation, because then we really don't have any defense lawyers, we don't have any defense, and we don't have a democracy. And this court, I hope, will understand that and will uphold that. And the second thing that I think is important is that if the government is going to take the position that cases simply can't go forward because of government secrets, then the government has usurped all of our abilities to be safe, because the government has decided that it's going to hold on to every secret it has and make everything a secret. And that way we have no courts and we have no Congress. And we basically have a dictatorship.
The issues to me personally as a Muslim and an Arab living in this country is the grave potential of abuse of power and loss of trust in government. Question was raised, isn't the assurance of the Attorney General sufficient for us? the same Attorney General and same President assured us a year ago that this cannot be done under FISA. And 20 days ago we were told it can be done under FISA. So which is it? Basically, we don't trust anything coming from this administration after the whole string of abuses since 9/11. And the second point, which was really highlighted in one of the exchanges, the government lawyers asked, well, why should we worry if these individuals can assume that their conversation could be monitored under FISA? And this is a fundamental issue, that there is 3 branches of government, and FISA is a judicial body. We don't have objections when there are checks and balances. We don't have objections when there is a judge who reviews evidence and authorize a warrant. We have a problem when the one person or one branch of the government assumes all the power. I personally lived under an authoritarian regime in Lebanon when Syria occupied it. And I know the same argument that I heard here, that the commander-in-chief or whoever is the authority has to have all the power to protect us. It doesn't protect us, it only leads to more abuse of power. So our Constitution has survived many, many presidents, and it has served us well over 200 years. I think it will survive this sad chapter, and hopefully this court will affirm the fundamental right of privacy and freedom of speech and freedom from searches. That's all I have to say.